particularly marvelous show here in December of 2012 with Taylor Eisty. It was actually Bennett for Kcsm. And it was mostly a solo piano show with Taylor, but he was joined by a special guest, Christian Timbre, on vibraphone for a few numbers. I understand one of these is going to be captured and put on the CD. It's really marvelous. This was a very, very special performance. Everybody that was here will certainly never forget it, and so it's great that it's going to be available on this CD.
I first met Jim Bennett through a program I was a part of at the Jazzschool, I think in maybe 2009, 2008, I'm not sure, called the Creative Jazz Singer, and it was an advanced class or opportunity where a couple singers get special one-on-one mentorship with the director of the vocal studies, Laurie Antonioli, and work for about 10 weeks on their own show and then give a concert at the Jazzschool. And Jim asked if he could record that concert and air it on In The Moment. And that's how I met Jim. And since then, that show has been aired 2 times on In The Moment, which has been a great opportunity for me to be played on the radio. And hoping for another opportunity for something like that in the future. It's been great. He's also become a good mentor for me in terms of the music industry and talking about record labels and how to work with them. I'm working on my first album, and so those conversations have been really helpful.
I first met Jim Bennett on a gig where he was doing the sound for a concert. And I was very impressed with his understanding of both what the audience needed to hear and what the musicians on stage needed to have reinforced for their own performance. And then from that experience, Jim produced a concert, a radio show from the live concert, and I was very impressed with not only the engineering aspect, but also of his sense as a producer of what material had a musical strength to it, and what really to put forward to support the musicians publicly. And then a few months ago, Jim approached me about featuring my own trio for In The Moment, the live jazz concert show on Kcsm. And me and the other musicians were very excited about that. And it just so happens that one piece from that concert will be selected for the fundraising CD for Kcsm's In The Moment show. So very happy to know Jim Bennett and to have worked with him over the years, and look forward to collaborations in the future.
Jim Bennett is one of our best friends. I think Jim has recorded us for 6, but maybe even more years. By us, I mean the big band. The big band has performed at the Jazzschool, and we've been recorded here by Jim and also at Yoshi's Oakland. I find these recordings to be invaluable, and the show, Jim's show In The Moment on Kcsm, to be just a wonderful way for people to get to hear us, people who otherwise may not hear us. Well, women's big bands we are one of 2 or 3 in the country, so we're sort of scarce as hen's teeth. And, we get pretty decent crowds at our show after 15 years of putting it out there, but I know for sure that the airplay, the live show that Jim does on Kcsm, and the airplay that the station gives our recording also are invaluable in terms of widening our audience. So we are most appreciative. The quality of the recordings that Jim's done for us over the years is just really outstanding, and it's totally hassle-free on the gig. I say hi when I come in, and I say bye when I leave, and that's about it. And these shows have been edited beautifully with really special introductions, and the thing I like best about Jim and how he presents us is that he's really sensitive to the situation of women in jazz, which is my big thing in my life. I mean, I love music, and that's what I do. I love jazz. I play lots of kinds of music, or at least I did when I was younger, kind of settling down now, kind of slowing down now. But it's just been a totally wonderful experience, and it's great for kids to hear it. It's great for audiences to hear it.
And then when I was approached the first time to actually be a part of recording for the In The Moment show, I was honored on several levels. It's a showcase program, and it's widely known within musicians how supportive Jim has been over the years. And not just in having this vehicle of the Sunday night show In The Moment, but also in working with musicians and the kind of guy who comes to the show to record and is a friendly face and someone who knows the music and someone who wants to work with musicians and get their best art across, which for musicians is a very important thing. It's not just about someone showcasing your music or giving you that opportunity. It's also about the working relationship you can have with that person and the way that person generally interacts with you as a musician and as a human being. And I think that's one of the things that Jim really brings to the art, not just access. And we've worked together on several things over the years. He's recorded several of my shows and always has really nice and flattering things to say, and is the kind of person that is not just saying that because he's playing your music on the radio, but because he genuinely feels that way and really feels connected to artists who are playing music and expressing something that he truly believes is important.
I know Jim because he has recorded a couple of my live performances here at the Jazzschool and also recently over at Piedmont Piano Company. And he records these shows in order to broadcast them on Kcsm as part of his show In The Moment, which is a great contribution really to the jazz scene here in the San Francisco Bay Area, because it costs a lot of money to record, and most of us really can't afford to do that all the time. And so Jim comes and he sets up and he makes a beautiful recording of a live performance and then broadcasts it on the radio, and so people can hear it and you feel good because everybody hears you play. So I think that's just a wonderful contribution that Jim's been making for many, many years now to the San Francisco jazz scene.
Jim Bennett's program, In The Moment, is one of those rare gems on the radio, a program that you're not going to find anywhere else. And Jim really does a wonderful job with the production, going out to the clubs and really connecting with those musicians and bringing us those rare moments, those moments when the musicians are just in the pocket and everybody is just having a great time. And jazz, let's face it, it's meant to be experienced live and in the moment, and that is what this program is about. And you're not going to find anything like this on the air or anywhere on the internet. And what's really nice is Jim has a local angle as well. He goes out and introduces you to some artists that you may have never seen. Maybe you've heard their name or seen it in the paper but never got out to the clubs to see them. Well, Jim is one of those folks that brings it right to your living room in the comforts of your own home, and does it in a very high production fashion, always sounding great.